The Galactic Conclave's most secure data vault had stood impregnable for 3 millennia. Carved into the crystalline heart of Nexus Prime, the ancient repository contained the combined knowledge of 47 civilizations. Its quantum-encrypted seal had withstood every attempt at penetration, from the mathematical prodigies of Kepler 442b to the hive-mind processors of the Zephyrian Collective. Ambassador Thylex of the Andromedans stood before the massive vault door, her bioluminescent patches flickering with barely contained frustration. Around her, representatives from dozens of species murmured in their native tongues, creating a cacophony of clicks, whistles, and harmonic resonances that filled the chamber. "The situation is dire," Thylex announced, her voice carrying across the vast hall through universal translation matrices. "The Void Plague spreads through 7 sectors. Without access to the Ancient One's medical archives, we face extinction, on a scale not seen since the Great Collapse." Dr. Zenth, the Kepler mathematician whose kind had spent centuries attempting to crack the vault, stepped forward on his 6 spindly legs. "The encryption matrix operates on 17-dimensional quantum principles," he said, his voice a series of precise mathematical tones. "Our best projections suggest it would take 47,000 years of continuous processing to break through even a single layer." A ripple of despair moved through the assembled delegates. The Zephyrian Collective's primary node pulsed a deep purple, indicating unanimous agreement with the mathematician's assessment. That's when the human delegation arrived. Dr. Sarah Chen walked into the chamber with the kind of casual confidence that immediately set every alien nervous system on edge. Humans had only joined the Galactic Conclave 50 years ago, and their reputation for unpredictable problem-solving had already become legendary and somewhat terrifying. "Sorry we're late," Chen said, adjusting the simple tablet computer she carried. "Traffic from Earth was murder. Something about a solar storm disrupting the jump gates." Ambassador Thylex's patches flared brighter. "Dr. Chen, while we appreciate your enthusiasm, this is not a matter for amateur speculation. The greatest minds in the galaxy have—" "Yeah, I read the briefing on the way over," Chen interrupted, walking directly up to the vault door. She pulled out what looked like an ancient human device, glasses, and perched them on her nose. 17-dimensional quantum encryption, right? Based on prime factorization in hyperbolic space? Dr. Zenth's compound eyes widened. "How could you possibly—" "Lucky guess," Chen said with a shrug. She began tapping on her tablet, occasionally glancing up at the swirling patterns of light that danced across the vault's surface. "You know, back on Earth we had this thing called the Enigma machine. Seemed impossible to crack, too." The chamber fell silent except for the soft beeping of Chen's device. Every alien eye, sensor, and awareness field focused on the human as she worked. "The thing about code breakers," Chen continued conversationally, "is that we don't just look at the math. We look at who made the code, when they made it, and why they made it the way they did." She paused, studying a particular sequence of symbols. The Ancient Ones were brilliant, no doubt, but they were also practical. Ambassador Thylex's patience was wearing thin. "Dr. Chen, this is not the time for human philosophy. Billions are dying while we—" "Got it," Chen said. The vault door, which had remained sealed for 3,000 years, began to slowly iris open. A soft, golden light spilled out from within, and the chamber filled with the harmonic resonance of ancient knowledge awakening. Every alien delegate stood frozen in shock. Dr. Zenth began a rapid series of calculations, his mathematical mind struggling to process what he had just witnessed. That's impossible," he stammered. "The computational requirements alone should have—" "See, that's where you went wrong," Chen said, pocketing her tablet. "You tried to break the encryption. I just asked it nicely to open." "Ambassador?" Thylex's bioluminescent patches were now strobing in complete confusion. "Asked it nicely?" Chen nodded toward the ancient symbols surrounding the doorframe. "The inscription there? It's not just decorative. It's a question. In the old tongue, it asks, 'Why do you seek what lies within?' You've all been trying to force your way in for millennia. But the Ancient Ones built this as a test of worthiness, not processing power. She gestured to her tablet. I just uploaded our entire historical database of pandemics, our medical research, our genetic diversity, projects, everything we've learned about fighting extinction-level diseases. The Vault's AI determined that we genuinely needed the knowledge to save lives, not to gain power or profit. Dr. Zenth's legs trembled as the implications hit him. You mean, all this time, we just needed to prove our intentions? Pretty much, Chen said. Though the 17-dimensional encryption was real, that was their way of making sure only sufficiently advanced civilizations could even attempt the test. Humans got lucky. We developed pattern recognition and emotional intelligence alongside our technology. Ambassador Thylex stared at the human with something approaching awe. In 47 civilizations, no one thought to simply explain their need? Chen smiled. Different approaches to problem solving, I guess. We humans have this weird habit of talking to things that can't talk back. Computers, plants, broken machines. Figured it couldn't hurt to try it on an ancient AI. As the delegates began to file into the vault to access the medical archives that would save billions of lives, Chen hung back. Ambassador Thylex approached her, her patches now glowing a soft, respectful blue. Dr. Chen, she said, your species continues to surprise us. How did you know to look for an emotional component in such an ancient system? Chen removed her glasses and cleaned them thoughtfully. Because every intelligent species we've ever encountered has been, at its core, social. Even the most logical, civilizations developed their technology through cooperation and communication. The Ancient Ones weren't just brilliant engineers, they were teachers. And teachers don't just test knowledge, they test character. She put her glasses back on and smiled. Besides, humans have been dealing with impossible locks for centuries. Sometimes the best way to open a door isn't to break it down. It's to knock politely and wait for someone to answer. As the golden light of ancient wisdom filled the chamber, representatives from 47 civilizations learned that sometimes the most sophisticated solution was also the simplest one. They also learned that humans, despite being the newest members of the galactic community, had brought something invaluable to the table. The understanding that intelligence without empathy was just very complex ignorance. The Void Plague was cured within the year. The vault remained open, its treasures freely shared among all species, and Dr. Sarah Chen became the first human to receive the Galactic Medal of Universal Service, an honor she accepted while wearing her simple Earth-made glasses and carrying her ancient tablet computer. After all, she explained to the assembled dignitaries, some tools never go out of style.